Welcome back, everybody, here to game number 3 of Quantic Gaming, going up against Team Liquid America, going up against the French with a Ukrainian captain and a Russian, well, crazy man. Let's jump ourselves inside the game. It's already begun, and we will see Quantic Gaming over on the dire side for this game with the first pick, first ban, going over to, well, actually, yeah, you know how it works, Team Liquid. Team Liquid having the first ban this one, and joining me on my commentary thing to make sure, commentary thing. You know what? Capitalist, it's all his. It's all his. No, it's not. There's no way I'm walking away from this game.
That thing, the comment, you speak to the mic, it's what
I do. It's what I do that defines me.
Yeah, and you get paid for excellent commentary like that, Toby.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
Professional production. Hashtag that shit. Oh. Yeah, man. I was sitting here in the break, and I sent a message to GoldBlack in the middle of the break, and I'm like, man, feeling confident. That was it. Just question mark, feeling confident, and he just smiles. He sent a smile back at me, and I'm like,
10 seconds remaining.
Not quite sure how to take that one, man. So feeling confident or not? It's. Oh.
Not that cat noise. Oh my goodness. Alright, Quantic versus Team Liquid. Game 3. Dominating performances by both teams. Team Liquid, Game 1, obviously, they came out very, very strong, winning some lanes that they really should not have won early on, and just held on to the game from there. Quantic with a much better draft, I feel. I was much more confident in Quantic's draft going into Game 2, but really, could that be Team Liquid's fault? I mean, they gave him the CK Wisp for free in the very beginning of the game, and they are not doing that this game. They took it out. No Wisp is going to be seen this time around.
No, they grabbed their gyro. They'll be happy with that one, but what they do let through, I'm seeing a live stealer very much open, and for the first time in this matchup, OD has managed to actually get through the ban stage. He was banned out in both the first points of it. In game number 1 and game number 2, and now in game number 3, I'm wondering if GoldBlack is just going to, you know, he's going to ban on the 3rd and 4th, and no one's going to ban on the 3rd and 4th. So why not just pick up like an OD as well as, well, what else would you want? OD, Lifestealer, not a bad combination to start with, and then if Team Liquid doesn't pick up the SD, you just ban him out, or Tree and Protector. Okay, it seems Tree and Protector is up on that priorities list.
Yeah, you know that if you're going to leave Tree there, Team Liquid is definitely going to pick it up as their second pick. We've seen it over and over and over again. And Quantic likes to run it with their OD, so whether or not they... I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't feel confident about OD being picked up second pick, but at the same time, you know you could probably look out for Team Liquid banning that one in the second banning phase. So maybe they will pick it up here. It's obviously a really good combo together. Very defensive support, being able to throw down that, but instead they're going to go for the Lone Druid here. So two very, very tanky heroes going up against a Gyrocopter. I feel that's a very nice start for them.
Yeah, that it is, man. Lone Druid as well as Tree and Protector. I'm happy we get to see Funzy's Bear at Dreamhack again. He played it non-stop when he was there last time, and now we'll see how it's going to work. That was back when he used to be playing with Cinderin. Back in the old days. Back in the olden days. With the Lone Druid, but now with Tree and Protector, armor up on the Bear. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing the Ogre Magi start to make his appearance as well, and they just break the base. Or Lashrak, other options as well. Look for that pushing power, add a Chen towards this mix-up, add the mechas with that Hand of God. Of course, that does make it very, very passive on the lane. Now maybe Team Liquid with their toss-up here on the second selection. It's, do we want to try and go up on that top lane and stop them? Or are they fearful about the bottom lane? With the Tree and Protector down here on the bottom lane, I know it's something which we haven't really seen Funzy do, GoldBlack really draft for, but at the same time, when they like to pick up a Lone Druid, they don't just want to throw it to the long lane. Most of the time, you actually look to farm it up now on the safe lane. Ever since they got that small little armlet change that came through, everyone was like, oh, I need money for Radiance now.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility here. I mean, if they did do a safe lane Lone Druid, this would be very, very defensive lanes, and you would have to question whether or not Team Liquid would want to throw an aggro try up against that. Honestly, if I were thinking along that lines of they're going to be going for a Lone Druid, obviously I'd be waiting for the 3-4 pickup here, but that'd be a good opportunity to use like a jungle. You're probably going to see another range support. Rarely do you see Tree and Protector being the only support picked up, so there's probably going to be another range support being picked up, and you can get that sort of golden and experience advantage, just like Team Liquid had in the first 10 minutes of last game. They can pick that up again with another jungler. Maybe they want to go something that affects the early game a little bit more, something like a Chen or an Enchantress. But that's just an option available to them, and there it is, of course. Second banning phase, take it away, that OD.
There's no way in all high hell Team Liquid want to face up against an OD, but I would have thought if they had first pickup, they might have considered actually grabbing the OD. He's really, really good up against a Lone Druid. Also another hero, I'm waiting for the Lifestealer. Lifestealer versus Lone Druid as well is also very, very troublesome, but I really feel there's something else coming out from Quantic. I'm actually feeling a Pugna coming from Quantic right now as far as their mid-solo goes. And the reason why I'm feeling the Pugna has been tested by them time and time again, and has been so damn effective. And with the Tree and Protector, you can run that Pugna in the middle lane. Leave a Lone Druid on that top lane, just farming it up. Look for a long laner. Tree and Protector's going to be pulling, and you just look for maybe a Bane will be the last one. Just to rotate around, give an Enfeeble to that middle lane, or a Nyx Assassin will be a nice one too. A little bit more active than the Bane, and that will allow them to have an extra stun, extra initiation. It's the mana burn that then helped out the middle lane.
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing the Pugna. That ward has become the slight buff that it got to its range, makes him a little bit more viable very, very early on before you're able to max it out. His pushing power is obviously pretty unparalleled when it comes to intelligence, sort of semi-carries and supports. He provides so much. Being able to push down the waves very, very quickly, as well as hit the tower repeatedly with that very low cooldown nuke. It's very, very strong sieging up against towers, and one of the best heroes up against that would be Tree and Protector, and they've already got that on their side. So,
Bane being banned out. So Liquid's fearing the same thing I was thinking that Quantic might try. They take him out of the pool. And now, what else does Quantic want? It's all or nothing right now for both these teams. Winner of this game will advance through to the semi-final. They will play in the semi-final of Dreamhack tomorrow. Everyone here who is competing has already won money. The fact they are here in the quarterfinals means they've already won. They've all won $1,500. Everyone who's competing right now, they won $1,500 US.
what?
Anyone who wins here in the quarterfinals has won $3,800 US. So
Well done.
not too shabby. Not too shabby. And then tomorrow, second prize, that's going to be $10,600. And then the first place, $22,300. Nice prize pull. Nice prize pull.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, considering really you don't have to put that many games into it to make it into the prize pool at all. Just making it through the group stage, which obviously for some groups was very, very tough, but this time, I mean, Quantic and Team Liquid, they both definitely deserve it. They're both going to be some shining stars at TI3. I feel that Quantic, while they didn't get invited for a reason, they made it into that qualifier and had just a dominated performance, and I think there's no doubt in my mind.
The fact they've got to go through that wild card is just it's the ultimate thing for me. As they don't have a secure spot. They've got to play up against, who is it? It's it wasn't VC Gaming, it was Rising Stars. Yeah. Either Rising Stars or Rattlesnake. It started with an R. To be honest, I still am starting to compile my notes for TI3 for my studying of the Southeast Asian scene. Been spending way too much time just looking at nothing but EU and US. It's Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake. The Rising Rattlesnake knocked out Rising Stars, and it was actually Beachy Gaming, who I was rooting. I was rooting on Beachy Gaming because that was my companion. Was LGD, and then Beachy taking second.
That's exactly what I had too. And then yeah, well done VC Gaming. Just make me lose my compendium bets. Thank you. Not very nice, is it? So Quantic, they go with it Weaver. Weaver hasn't been functioning that well for so many people, but with living armor, it can be a lot more aggressive. And Enchantress and a Prophet. Oi, oi, oi. This could even be an aggressive trial lane on top lane if they so desire. Enchantress and SD can move into Quantic's jungle. Now, one more hero up on that top lane then. That really shouldn't be a Nature's Prophet. It should be the Gyro with the SD together. But at the same time, like, Prophet up on that top lane, maybe it would be enough. Enchantress in the jungle, Prophet trying to pull, being an absolute nuisance, then SD and Enchantress can rotate around. Or they could just start in their bottom lane, when Prophet's happy with his levels, TP's the bottom lane, and they just start taking out towers. Quantic's counter push is basically non-existent. Weaver's going to try and like Shikuchi through it all. That's not going to do enough. Lone Druid might be able to pull the aggro with his bear. Queen of Pain will scream a little bit, and then Dream Protector does nothing. It's almost like Quantic need a Keeper of the Light as their last one. And there goes the Slark from Goblack. He is not doing that again. He is not doing that again. Which means we'll probably just see Korok on a puck in the mid lane up against the Queen of Pain. And I'm looking forward to seeing if TC wants to ban out the Keeper of the Light or some other counter pusher. Rubik may not be a bad choice as well.
Honestly, I feel that Team Liquid, I don't think it can go an aggro try here, just because both Lone Druid and Weaver, Weaver's probably going to be in this safe lane here, and Weaver is very, very strong in tri-lanes, especially defensive tri-lanes. Now, we don't normally see him, mainly because a lot of teams don't like running Weaver as a hard carry. A lot of times you see him in aggressive tri-lanes with a harder carry, or at least some heavy pushers being picked up. Here, Quantic has that in the Lone Druid. He also makes for a decent carry. He's going to share that role with the Weaver, but I feel it's just too dangerous going up against Weaver in a defensive tri-lane, just because he has so much room to be able to move around with that Shikuchi. But this is fairly interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to almost run dual lanes here with the Weaver and the Tree Protector in their safe lane, and then the Lich being able to pull the lane back with those denies while Lone Druid also does the pulling. You know, those two working in congruence together could be a really good way to force the lane pretty much constantly back at their tower, an easy way to pick up experience on the Lone Druid. That might be what Quantic's thinking, since the fact that you were talking about earlier, they don't normally like to run him in the off lane, especially since that nerf that the bear received.
Yeah, but look who's playing it. There's going to be Soshka up on it. The only reason why they'd want it run on the safe lane, I believe, is if Fonzie was going to be taking up that role. But it'll be Soshka who takes up that Lone Druid. The hilarious thing is, throughout this entire team at Quantic, I have seen 4 different people run that Lone Druid, be it safe lane or long lane. Fucking Mao was doing it for a while, and I know Sion had a crack at it at one point. It was, and obviously the other one being Funzy. It's always just been jumping around this roster to see what they want to do and where they want to do it. But now, they make up their minds, they lock it in. The last one to be picking up their hero, Fluff and stuff, needs to select up his Enchantress, and now we are good to go, man. We are good to go. And we'll see how the lanes will all unfold. So with Liquid, we'll have Korok, built as the Kunkka, and that's a guaranteed solo mid-Kunkka now. IX Mike 88 SD, he's heading up to the middle lane right now. I'm not quite sure if they want to keep this as a dual lane forever, but they might start off as such. TC down the bottom lane as the Gyro, so farming for him. It puts Bulba with 3 Clarities, 2 Tangos, and a Ring of Protection. He is heading up towards the, now with itself, definitely heading up towards that top lane, and that leaves Fluffus up as the final one, starting off with a smoke for him. So, could be anywhere. He could go with the SD and run into the Dire jungle. He could also just stay inside his own jungle and come out later on. As far as your lanes, man, if you're looking for dual lanes, the 2 heroes which you thought might stick together, Bucky Mad's walking right next to Soshka right now, but Bucky Mad will be as a Lich, puts Soshka as the Lone Druid, and Bucky Mad's going to abandon him. He's heading in top lane. Fonzie middle lane solo as the Queen of Pain, and that puts Goldblack top lane, Tree Protector, and our last but not least Silent, who is in love with Mila, playing the Weaver on the top lane.
Yeah, what I like about this is, I mean, I think Furon's going to suffer a little bit. Just because of Weaver's mobility, she should be able to actually kill the trees pretty easily. A lot of auto attacks and then just being able to keep up with Shikuchi. If he is able to do that and take down those trees and take down that pole, Bulba does not have a whole lot of options. Like you said, Enchantress is going to be hogging the jungle, and especially in the Radiant jungle, because of the fact that Enchantress, you have access to this hard camp over here. Just from the cliff, being able to look over the cliff and grab one of those creeps, enchant it, kill off that creep, and then force your creep to go to the easy camp while you stack up this other hard camp. All you have to do is just wait for a good tornado creep, and you can actually farm extremely quickly on an Enchantress. Enchant as well works in the same way, but middle. They're already getting very, very aggressive on this Queen of Pain. It's a dual lane that she's going to have a very hard time with because obviously her Blink is going to only help her after she's taken the full damage from a Torrent and a Tidebringer hit.
Problem is, they can't be as aggressive as this. Living Armor, sure, they just managed to wear it off because Mike got the disruption off, but it's a long cooldown timer on it. And Funzy, his harassment's actually quite decent. He leveled up Blink because of this, but because he's also solo middle lane, he's going to start out-leveling both Korok as well as Mike. And if Funzy wants to, he can really harass Mike out this lane. Pushing it back. In fact, you're seeing it right now. With a Sting, it'll bring Mike very, very close to death. And Funzy, I think he's just hoping to get a scream. In fact, there goes the salve. And instantly already this SD can't stand on the lane. Funzy's going to have a fantastic time with this mid. Even Korok, like he's wilting away right now. He needs that 600 gold for the bottle. And now Disruption. No torrent, no combination. Funzy just blinks away, expecting it to come. But not the case. Bottom lane, trouble for Sochka. Troll Trap already held him there. That's going to be first blood. Fluff and stuff. How to get that last attack down with the Undead Army and the Hellbear coming in. As Lone Druid, the first one to go down the long lane. Quantic off to a bad start here.
Yeah, and with those, especially those boots. Those boots are really going to be able to help out Fluff. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he picks up a smoke fairly early on and goes and tries to maybe help out middle a little bit. Once, because of the slow that comes out from the Torrent, I think they can't really run a dual lane. I feel that they can't run this dual lane against the tree armor. While classically this is a very strong dual lane that is very, very good, especially against blinking heroes because they're pretty squishy most of the time. But living armor is just too strong. It's going to be able to keep him alive. And like you were talking about, Ike's Mike is going to be able taking a lot of damage.
Oh, they're going to try this one again. Torrent's going to hit, and now Funzy blinks himself back in range of his own tower. Korok, oh, living armor comes up. Yeah, that Tidebringer hit, but it wasn't enough damage to kill off Funzy. Still enough to make him a little bit more concerned. While top lane, Weaver cancels off the clarity of Bulba. This is getting really frustrating for Bulba too. He's got enough mana to create a new set of trees, but if he wants to create another set, he'll have to wait a very, very long time before that clarity goes. It has its full effect. Bucking Man is still trying to give a little bit more space to this Queen of Pain in middle lane. See him just sitting here waiting to sacrifice. Not taking that second level, not picking up the Frost. Now, okay, now he's going to come in and take the second level.
Dire's top tower.
It's better to actually have something he can use his mana with, as opposed to just giving more levels up to Funzy. But there's 2 points now on the screen for Funzy. So harass on any of these heroes means they've got to hold back on their side of the river. There is no question about this. Unless Fluff wants to do what he's doing. Smoke gank with the Troll, as well as the Hellbear. That Hellbear's about to actually time out. In fact, there it goes. It dies on the way in. The trap is still going to be there. Funzy got a blink, gets away. The attacker and disjoint. Quick bottle charges up. Can't blink just yet. Poison. No mana for it. Funzy can blink in 3 seconds time, and the Troll is trying to catch up. The enchant slowing it down, and now Funzy blinks deeper into the river. Torrent's going to miss. Bucking Mad turns around. He's going to get Frost off, trying to slow down the Troll again. The trap is there, and he's just going to use it on Bucking Mad. Funzy can now turn. Oh, no, he can't. No, he can't. He can't blink yet. TC just walks in. Flat cannon, one more hit, and living armor. It's not enough. Liquid now 3-0.
Wow, I am extremely surprised that Liquid is able to actually catch that out. Blink Dagger, though, is just such a, one level of Blink is just such a long cooldown that they were able to keep up. So really well done by Liquid, seeing that opportunity and being able to pick it up. I think that if Queen of Pain just blinked over to the Ancients, she would have been just fine. But Instead, he just kept going for his ally, running into Bucky Mad, and that actually turned into multiple kills, and that's going to be a nice early lead for Team Liquid. Again, that Boots came into big play. Fluff being able to pick up that early kill got him not only Boots, but being able to buy a very early smoke. And ganking that middle with that troll, nice, easy kill for them to be able to pick up. It would have been even easier, except for that initial living armor, would just barely save Funzy's life.
Well, Fonzie for a moment then was about to get his sweet-ass revenge on IX Mike 88. Running around with a DD, a blink, and 2 points of Scream. He already manages to force Korok as well as Mike out of the lane. Unless his goal is the old military strategy. Don't kill him, just injure him. Takes more resources and time to actually take care of. And he gets a lot more time in that middle lane. Korok wants it. He's just fishing with torrents at the moment. Hoping to find something. Bucky Mad and Soshka moving back. TC being very aggressive. That Centaur couldn't get the stomp right. And in fact, you have to pull both the Centaurs back. Hey! Another weird stomp. Waste a little bit of mana as well as the cooldowns in those stomps.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Fortification's going to go off, saving bottom tower as well as that mid tower from a little bit of damage. Silent's still having a great time up on the top lane. Like, we're talking about about the other lanes not going right for Quantic. They move down, they lose Funzy, they give it over to Gyro, but there's a 34 for 14 Weaver on this top lane, up against a Prophet who's 14 for 2. There is some serious things lacking right now on this top lane, where Lone Druid, he's also picked up like 12 for 2. Obviously, death doesn't help, but at the same time, we know Lone Druid in the later portion of the game, even though, not even the later portion, like we're talking like 25 minutes into the game, will have decent items and can just take out towers very quickly. Everything can be made back up again with the Lone Druids.
Yeah, there's no real big surprise that Weaver is just dominating this lane.
Catcher, Torrent, Funzy, he's got a blink right now. He holds it. Bulba came in as well. Puts down the Sprout, goes for a Scream, turns around for the Sting. He's still got a blink, he's using the bottle charges. Bulba goes down this one, and now IX Mike 88, fucking mad, has a space for it. Korok, is there a generated attack? There is now 3 heroes lost. Quantic's rotation just got everything back they required.
Yeah, absolutely. Really well done by Silent, picking up a very early TP scroll. He saw the opportunity. There's nothing they can really do to stop him just constantly chasing him down with Shikuchi. So, well done seeing that opportunity of teleporting in and picking up a nice kill and also saving his allies. He's getting pretty much free farm. He's obviously has the high CS in the game right now, and that's just because Weaver is just able to dominate this lane versus a Furion. Couple that with Treant being able to pull and farm the jungle a little bit. He's been able to pick up level 4. You give living armor to a Weaver, and he can just be stupidly aggressive on the enemy hero.
Radiant's top tower is
License to kill, basically, man with a golden gun. Or in this case, 2 golden guns if you got the Gemnet attack. Funzy, thinking about Korok in the mid. He's got ulti available, he's got the burst damage for it. A blink, Scream, and then follow up, or what else being called out? SD Disruption. He's trying to save him, but it's not going to work. A quick jump up to the Scream. And Silent already with the living armor up on him. They pick off the SD, and Korok, he was actually chasing. That's a long way to be down. Chasing more farm, fucking mad, Quap ulti, and Silent will finish the job. Funzy got to get himself out of here. Blink is off cooldown, but he's saving it. He's been so cautious with this blink. Amount of times when he could have just blinked himself away to safety, but he saves it. So he can do this kind of thing. Stay on that mid tower, bring the creep wave up, and no, he's still got his escape mechanism.
Yeah, this is that's really smart, especially given the fact he's going up against a Kunkka. You notice Korok's build. It's a 2-1-2 build.
5-man Dota. It's just already 5-man Dota. IX Mike 88's back in again, and now, yes, he realizes, definitely time to blink. All 5 of Liquid, at this stage of the game, we're 9 minutes into the game, and they feel the need to bring all 5 into one position. Also, want to point out, why is Gold Black on bottom lane at level 4? Almost in range of the tier 1 tower.
Hey, he sees the opportunity to farm. They're like, you're going to 5-man? I'll put one of my supports at bottom and pick up some little experience I've been able to miss out on. You know, he has his boots, sitting on another 500 gold. That's pretty decently well done for a support hero who's also going to be purchasing wards and that sort of thing. Lich has been able to pick up his Tranquils, even though he's been pretty much just supporting that mid lane and bouncing back and forth, denying creeps where he can. All around, I feel Quantic, even though that they kind of lost control early on, they've definitely made everything back. A nice couple set of kills and some really good team fights, even though they lost middle. Bottom, Korok.
Actually going to bring him down again. Man, there's just no space to move. It really feels like after those first three. I'm going through weird emotions right now, man. I'm going through weird emotions right now. It's like deciding if it's chocolate ice cream or if it's really like the caramel center kind of thing. Mike88 is going to go down the bottom lane, and he will go down. TP support's on their way. Blink already been used by Funzy. He knows he's got to wait in the tree line. The jump out already by Quantic. Blink over towards the side, and Funzy's out. Lucky Matt already TP'd himself back out too. Both able to escape. And a nice TP by Funzy. He went to the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, so he doesn't leave Silent down here by himself. And Silent wants to go. Chasing up to Korok. And pushing him back in range to the tower. And this is that feeling I get, man. Like, the first 3 kills happened for Liquid. Instantly, I was just like, okay, one side of game, bound to happen. Nothing's going to really stop this. Liquid's got the momentum. They find the kills. The middle lane's not doing too well. The bottom lane's doing horrid. And then all of a sudden, this middle fight and Quantic, they've taken 7 kills for no collateral damage. It's like I don't know who has the advantage in this one because it just can change at a moment's notice. However, there is still 4,000 experience going the way of Quantic, so I suppose that's at least one thing. Mike88 dead. Shikuchi in through the rear, the Gemnate attack. Now Korok is going to bug up on him. They might kill off Funzy right now, but Silent focusing on Fluff and stuff. He needs more burst damage to kill off Fluff. That Enchantress heal will stop him. He'd have to time-lapse out the damage he's already taken. Back into the Shikuchi, and then X marks the spot. Doesn't work when he's got that high movement speed. And now he'll go again. Lich Hold, he bounces back up again. While Silent, still in the Shikuchi, searching for the opening. Lich Holding back into the trees. And Funzy looking to farm him up. Silent can't find the other Fluff and stuff. Already bought a TP and got himself out to safety. And TC, man, he is so far up here. They still get rid of the rocket, so Funzy's got space to move. And Golblack, he's finding, again, this space to free farm in the middle lane, while up on top lane, Soshka, all the space in the world to now play a lone Druid.
You know, honestly, I think that Quantic just did a really good job with our drafting. I mean, you look at it, both Gyrocopter and Kunkka, they really prefer, and Enchantress too, actually, they really prefer to have much cleaner team fights. Clean team fights where you have a definite, this is where they're at, this is where we're going to throw our boat, our torrents, and our calldowns, and output a lot of AoE damage in that direction. But you've got a lot of high mobility.
TC, okay, they just basically slap each other on the cheeks and then run. Oh, and a gift to remember him by being sent to Funzy.
Yep. This high mobility, even Lone Druid, honestly, it makes team fights very, very messy and hard to deal with. And you're going to have some really excellent boats and some torrents because they're going to be really hard to land. Middle, though.
I'm actually watching bottom lane with Mike88. No, he's not going to go on that one. You're right, Golblack. He will go down this one. The Impetus. Flop picks up a double kill. Now back on bottom lane. Disruption went off. Is there a purge from Mike? No, there's not. He's not high enough level. And now Silent just turns to fire. He's still got his time lapse. Now X marks the spot. He has to time lapse before the boat's going to hit. And no!
Oh!
You can see the animation start. Actually, no, he did.
Yeah, he got his time lapse off. The boat still was able to wipe him out. 350 damage. That boat does a lot of damage at level 1.
I got a funny feeling he waited too long on the time lapse. The damage was already basically done. Obviously, you're going to only go back a certain amount in time, and you want to wait that little bit longer, well, that just changes how much life points you'll have after you pop it.
Yeah, that's just really well done by Korok. I mean, honestly, trapping a Weaver like that, hitting those X marks the spots in those torrents, and the ghost ships especially, on a Weaver of all heroes, extremely hard. So that was really well done by him. He's been able to pick up a lot of gold. 1, 4, and 2, obviously he has had a very rough start, but now he's able to pick up his phase boost. That's going to be a lot more damage coming out of that Tidebringer hit. Meanwhile, the rest of his team is very, very thankful for that room that he's giving them. The middle fight where TC was able to get off that cooldown, obviously that resulted in some kills. Nicely done there. Looks like they're going to try and hunt for the lone druid. Unfortunately, those Sakshka farming very, very defensively here, waiting for pretty much for those kind of smoke ganks.
Yeah, he did the right thing, hanging around on the other side of the tree line. The bear gave him the vision because that reveals out the smoke. Sakshka having a little bit of a harder time catching up, however. And even if they do try and just beat down this bear, it's going to time out in 1 second, so not fast enough. Even with the big fist of the treant, not going to be possible. And Funzy's on the hunt. He's got a haste rune, and he sees a hero in mid. And that means Frost, slow him down, Scream, Sting. TP support's already come, so there's 135 gold down the drain as well as TC's time. And that's why there's a TP going down towards the bottom lane. They don't want to leave that bottom lane unattended because Silent will take out that tier 1 tower. And they even have to fortify to keep it up and running.
You know, I feel that even when Liquid does pick up some of their core items, BKB on Gyrocopter, Shadowblade up on Nature's Prophet, even then I still feel that the pushing power of Quantic is really going to come into play soon, and they're going to really start snowballing their gold heavily against them. I mean, you're talking about a Treant Protector who's going to be able to stop a lot of this split push pressure that is provided by Nature's Prophet, because Nature's Prophet doesn't typically provide the flat-out push. It usually takes little bits of damage.
Sentry wards are down, Silent, it's just got a time lapse. This Lich Holding now going to bounce around. Fluff and stuff goes down very quickly, and the extra bounce over to Mike. The ship's on the way in. It's going to hit really hard as well on Bucking Mad. The Buckler, the one charge, is keeping him alive for the moment. But a moment's enough. It buys time for Silent to bring down Korok. X marks spot or not. Means it couldn't chase instantly onto Bulba. But now Living Armor, it gives him permission to dive. Scream, not available. Sting is available, but Bulba try and duke it out. He's inside the tree line, but his TP is still on cooldown. He can't do it. Funzy comes in, Shikuchi through him, and then Bulba will go down, but the trees, it blocks him in until then Blink. And Silent, he's going to go down at the end. Oh, Living Armor brings him back up again. And now he can run up looking at TC. Still got that Living Armor healing him up. And he comes back in again. Suppose. Time lapse is off cooldown again. And he's about to pick up his ulti orb. If he kills off TC, he might be able to buy up his full Lincolns.
Yeah, honestly, this is just such a good game for Weaver, though he might go down here.
Oh, time lapse. And then to Shikuchi. Runs away, and Korok, he ran up. He was searching for Silent, but then Bucking Mad, the ship, is coming in a nice position. Off to the side. Silent evades, and he will kill off Korok. Geminate attack works its job off, and TC, he's frosted up, and he's up against the Queen of Pain, and back comes Silent. Lich gets that kill. And it really feels like Quantic is just chaining kills off here. It's 1 by 1 they're coming in and getting split and divided. Now it's 2 by 2, Fluff and stuff. He's the one going up against Funzy. Remember, burst damage is what he hates. Impetus flies, he'll disjoint because of the blink. Silence just going on to Mike. He's the one that can cause more issues with this one. And then you Frost over to Fluff. Blink Scream comes in. Gets the kill on the Enchantress. The Weaver attack will kill off the SD. And Quantic, they're making this look too easy. They're making this look way too easy. I'm wondering if Liquid are actually making this too easy.
Absolutely, they are. I mean, you don't have the supports with you, the supports who are the ones going to be buying the counters, buying the dust. And they're not with these carries. The 2 carries go in without that detection, trying to fight a Weaver. Obviously, the Weaver's going to tear you apart. Just with the Living Armor, Weaver is a very tough hero to take down, and he's just going to be able to constantly provide that consistent physical damage that is eventually going to take you. And then you mix that with a lack of detection on Liquid, and it's just free kills everywhere Weaver goes. And then the 2 supports wandering in. I mean, honestly, this is just a lot of silly mistakes. They might pick up a kill on middle, though.
Yeah, Gold Black, it's Living Armor, throws out the ulti, goes in for the Leech Seed, Disruption, Quap ulti, damage on all 3 with the Scream. Ice Mike's already going to go down, so it's tip for tap, blink away. Bulba wants to be part of this. It's like, wait, where'd she go? Oh, down the river, of course, where she went last time, but this time it's going to live. Oh, unless she's going to come straight back into the middle of everybody and try and scream him. And then have X marks the spot, hurt him up, but there's a Lich Alderman. They're in the river. They've got to split up, and Korok, he got a lot of damage with the bounce up for the trees, even bounced up to TC and back in again, back to TC, and in comes Silent. He's going to get the kill out in TC. In fact, they just go through it. The Lich Alderman just pops them all. 4 heroes on the sidelines. This is an avalanche. This is an avalanche momentum just going the way of Quantic.
This, I mean, you look at this 7,500 gold. It looks like Ike's Mike. He could probably get dove. Silent's gonna go
He's
for
dead.
that.
Silent's still got it.
Oh.
He's still got his that time lapse. Words.
I don't know. I honestly, it feels like Liquid is just losing control of this game, and it feels like they're like panicking or I don't know, not caring or something. They're just not playing like a team anymore. They're just playing like this is a pub, and they're gonna run out there and just through player skill, they're gonna magically find kills on a Weaver. And that just isn't the case. A good team like Quantic is gonna control this game heavily. Furion now able to pick up his Shadow Blade. Nothing new is going to be picked up on Korok anytime soon. Fluff is starting to make his way towards that Aghanims, but obviously it's going to be a long, long way away.
Korok's
Honestly,
dead.
it's just up to Bulba.
Korok's dead. Silent will dive on the tier 2 tower. He's still got his Lincoln Sphere, so Korok couldn't trigger anything. Disruption going to go off here from Mike with the catcher, but Silent knows exactly who he wants. He's taking minimal damage here. Jumps in, jumps out. Funzy, the ship comes in as she stuns him up, and then time lapse. Fonzie's the only one that took damage from this one. He's basically looking for a reason to use his BKB.
Yeah, that was... Gallblack actually might go down here.
Bulba. Gallblack, yeah, he's caught. He uses stick charges and now throws out the ultimate. Oh, wow! One charge it up. Ulti it up. Bulba can't find him. Now, Frost Armor really helped him out, too. And Bulba had to retreat. He's in the tree line. Now he can TP out. And he goes into the middle lane. Maybe not the best choice when I see Lich coming in there as well.
Honestly, their greatest hope is Bulba being able to farm up and do some really good split pushes. But again, he's going to run into that tree armor. It's going to be a very, very big problem for him because he can't fully commit to towers. The Furion is supposed to do little chips of damage or trade towers. Jesus.
It's just too easy for him. The Purge got used up on Lich, but Silent, the second that Frost went, he knew his movement speed was going to be more than enough to keep up. He was actually looking for Korok again, but SD was just caught in the line of fire, and Korok got himself far enough away that Silent said, well, I can go for SD. That's easy enough. And now this can be Silent's Yasha up and running. And the call's coming up. They're coming in for Roshan. I'll bring the bear in a moment. The bear's still having his presence on the top lane because of the Radiance. So they keep pushing it out, and now he's going to bring it back in again. Probably would have liked to have kept it up there just a little bit longer, so it at least pushes out the creep wave that these trees are definitely kind of pushing out. But he needs the attack damage of the bear, especially with the speed that Liquid's coming over. They've got to realize that Roshan's being done. Every single lane is now abandoned for the first time. And that instantly spells Roshan, but they're already too late. DD up on Funzy, and he also now has the Aegis the Immortal.
Yeah, these are the sort of situations where Weaver really excels at. I mean, technically, he was the one being run in the very beginning of the game. He was in that safe lane, put sort of in that one position. But this is where he really excels, being able to force fights early when supports don't have a whole lot of counter wards, when they're not going to have a gem, those sort of ideas. And just focusing on picking off heroes and forcing Team Liquid to group up while this bear farms.
It's distraction. He's just distraction. Takes a lot of damage. He doesn't time-lapse it out. He just keeps going on TC. Look at that attack damage he's got. It's just so quick and so brutal. Then he goes on to Korok, and Korok's like, I can't stand there. He can't.
Oh, my.
He attacks so fast, Silent. The TP came up to the top lane, actually just leaving the bear behind. Lone Druid's now, okay, now he just brought himself back into the middle lane with the bear. And Funzy even stinging up, getting rid of the trolls. Tier 2 tower will now go down the middle lane. This really feels like Liquid has, I'm not going to say given up, but with every single kill they've taken, Quantic will be sitting there going, yeah, GG boys, back tomorrow. We will challenge for the grand final and the semi-finals.
Yeah, and they're not giving Liquid the room to come back into this game, which was what Liquid really needed, was pretty much Furion split pushing, but they're not even going to let them. They're going to take down towers, they're going to take Arax right now.
They're trying to get in close, and now the second they do, that Radiance Bear is already having its effect. Look, Entangle on Mike. He's dead after a very short time. It's a full cooldown happening. Stick charges keep him alive a little bit longer, actually. That's a good hit. Now the Lich holding. Bounces down. There's a quick Entangle. Don't walk into him, TC! Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, and then Bulba as well! I don't know! Fuzzy blinks away. It's like playing catch. Except the baseball's a chain frost. You can see Mortar will trigger on the co-op. Weaver's already killed off the Enchantress again, and now he looks to Mike. But they take out the mid-racks. And Sochka, well, he started making a line, and there's the GG call. 24 minutes and 30 seconds. All 3 games in total. Not taking long at all. Took longer to get organized than it did to actually play the games. And that is going to be the GG out, man. Quantic, they play good. Team Liquid, a wheel fell off somewhere. This is going to be one of those moments where I know now there will be a at least a 1-hour conversation that I'll have to have with Bulba about what happened, the reasons why it happened, and what they're now doing to solve what happened that went wrong. Because that's going to be a game where the archives, he's going to be looking over that so much.
Yeah, I mean, not only just the wheels falling off the bus, but also it's like that happened, and they went, oh god, and they looked towards the driver, and no one was there. It was like there was no direction whatsoever for Team Liquid. They just constantly just kept running at Quantic. There seemed to be no game plan whatsoever. They just kept on going out there, thinking, we have a gyrocopter, we have a Kunkka, these guys fight early. Why aren't we getting those kills? Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't know if it was just a breakdown of communication or something just went horribly, horribly wrong for Team Liquid. That was just not the sort of team play that we normally see for them. But well done by Quantic. 2 games that they just absolutely crushed Team Liquid. Really well done by them. I mean, honestly, looking at these 2 teams are, in my minds, really in the top 10 of the Western scene, if not the top 5. Liquid is no doubt the top American team in my mind, and Quantic has just been impressing me every single time I see them, and more so this series than ever before. So really well done by Quantic, and you know, good luck in their next games tomorrow. We are going to move on to what now? I forgot.
We are doing Na'Vi versus Dignitas. Will be the next game coming up here on the live stream. If you also want to check out the other quarterfinal, it's still going on. Liquid versus EG versus Virtus Pro is still going on right now. Last I checked, EG was a game up. And coming up next as well on the Dreamhack Dota live stream, you can check out Alliance going up against Mouse Sports. But have both streams running, people. Support them all and rack up those viewer numbers for all the Dota 2 scene. So people go, you know what? People actually want to watch Dota 2 and then give them a huge audience and stand and stage and all that kind of jazz. Anyway, we'll be back here in, well, schedule starting time's 25 minutes. So grab yourself a beverage, a snack, or something like that. We've got a best of 3, Na'Vi versus Dignitas, coming up shortly. Stay tuned.